I'm James. We're in the Net News Ledger studio. We're here with Frank Pullia. Frank was elected councillor at large in the last election. He is now back on council. What's it like coming back on City Council, Frank?
As if I never left.
Now,
Feels good.
Is that good or bad?
It's all good. It's all good because there's, like I mentioned before, every election has a new dynamics. Even though most of the councillors are the same, things are changing. The trick is for us as councillors representing the citizens to be in tune with those changes so that we can adapt and we can respond adequately, because the request for service delivery will always be there. There's always a need to fix the roads, pick up your garbage, make sure that we do it in a fiscally responsible way so not to place an undue burden on an aging population.
Now, Council has set some of the committees. What roles are you taking as committee on Council?
I was appointed the chair of Administrative Services Committee, which includes finance. So that's why if you see me a little not worried, but humbled in the knowledge of what's ahead, because we have a challenging budget. We're not booming as a city. Some people like to use that word booming. I don't see it. I know we're doing reasonably well in terms of growth, but we're catching up. We're playing catch up. We're growing at 1.5% per year compared to the rest of the province that's growing like 2, 3, 4%. So we need to understand that unless we grow and in service demands increase above the growth, taxes have to go up. So my job as the chair of finance is to balance all of that. And that's why I said it's not an easy task, but I think ready, willing, and able.
Now, in the speech from Mayor Hobbs, and of course, not everyone knows that speech was delivered with input from the entire council, but the mayor set a few priorities in there.
Yes.
One of the areas that he talked about was dealing with social issues as a priority. What can we be doing to make that happen?
We need to go to the source of the problem. And these are long-term issues. You're not going to solve them in a couple of years. But we're doing a lot, and we need to go back and see what's working and what's not working. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. We can go and learn from the experience of other communities that have had similar problems and see what the best practices are. Apply them to the dynamics of Thunder Bay, which is unique, and see if we can find solutions to problems that will be there and I continue to increase. My question is, if they're increasing the problems, whatever we're doing obviously is not working to the level that it should be working. So let's go back and be critical in identifying what's not working and what can we do to adjust and change and adapt and find practical solutions.
Now, the other area that we keep hearing about, and you talked about it, where people are telling us that we're booming. The Financial Post is saying that the Toronto Venture Exchange on resources hit the garbage can yesterday. It had a record drop. The price of oil is dropping like a stone right now. What kind of impact do you see that having on Thunder Bay? Is there an impact we're going to see in the short run?
Yes, short and long. I see structural changes coming. The same way in 2008 when we had the recession. A lot of people like to, I'm a planner. I like to forecast. I like to look what's in front of me, but also plan ahead. I see some challenges. Commodity prices are fairly stable, but what happens with the price of oil dropping and mineral resources not, booming, you see the revenue for government, both federal and provincial, not being what they used to be. They're going to cut back. And guess who is going to be at the tail end of the delivery? It's the municipalities. That's where the pavement hits the road. Pavement hits the road at the municipal level. And we're already seeing the provincial government cutting back our transfer payments by $1.5 million per year. That's going to be $6 million in the next 4 years. This term of council, the provincial government alone, we're going to see a reduction in $6 million. Where is that money coming from? Is that going to be passed on as a tax increase, or are we going to do whatever we can to grow our economy and our tax base, free up the creativity and the potential of our business community to create new jobs, open up new businesses? If the government is not there, and it's great that when they are at the table, we will take that money and use it properly. But if they're not there, what do? You work with your business community.
Yep.
You help grow this economy and create new jobs. Otherwise, you're going to see a shrinking pie. We need to work together to make the pie bigger so all the citizens of Thunder Bay benefit.
Now, the last issue that'll be coming up, of course, is the next step for council is moving into the budget. So there's some late nights coming up, obviously, for council, a lot of research and a lot of reports that have to be read. Do you think that we can get this right for the next year in the budget?
The way I see the budget process unfolding is a continuous involvement in budgeting. You can't wait until the end of the year and show a $5 million deficit to $4 and then hope that you're going to go into a new budget process with a clean slate. You already have a problem to begin with, which you got to fix. The budget is a continuous process. My idea, which I'm going to bring forward to council, is to start a budget committee that will work and integrate all departments, including council. Council has to be involved. You can't just set the budget and go away. Every quarter we have a variance analysis. We need to go and look. We can't go over budget because right now we have a $5 million deficit we got to take care of before we even start the budget process. That cannot continue to happen. You can't move ahead with the ball chain your feet. So I'm going to present some ideas, and I hope council will support those ideas about integrating the budget process into the strategic plan. We started the other night. I think it went very well. We have some very capable people, administration, but we need to work a little more closely. And council, I hope, gets not to the level that we need to micromanage. No, we are operating at this level, policy level, but we need to integrate some of our resources to make sure that we are more efficient in delivering services in a cost-effective way.
Frank, I think we've got a good start for things. I thank you for coming into the studio, and I'm sure we'll be talking an awful lot over the next term of council. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.